Good morning. Good morning. It's Josh Goldstein, your favorite immigration lawyer, coming at you. Hope everybody is doing amazing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so happy to be with you here today. Jafar Kali, welcome. Mike, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone is doing great. So today, the topic we're going to be talking about today is what is 221G? 221G. What is that? Well, let's start from the beginning. You go to your visa interview. You've been waiting for years to get this visa interview. And getting an interview in today's world for any visa is a remarkable achievement. But let's say that you get your visa interview. You go to the interview and you're expecting to get your visa. What happens if you don't get the visa? Instead of getting the visa, you get something called 221G. And you don't know what this means. You don't know why you got it. So immediately you go to Google and you find one of my videos about 221G. And you learn that 221G is the same as administrative processing or refused. Okay, that's great. Now, from there, you have to know your next question is going to be, why was my visa put in administrative processing? There's no answer for that. And then you're going to ask, well, how long is it going to take for them to get 221G administrative processing to be complete? Again, there's no answer for that. And then you're going to ask, well, what are they actually checking in administrative processing? Again, there's no answer for that. So when you're in administrative processing, 221G or refuse, you can only figure out two things that have happened. One, you had a visa interview and the visa interview was conducted and completed. Okay. Two, no final decision has been made. That's all you can say. At this point, there are two ways out of administrative processing. There is the strategy of waiting, right? I always tell people, take your hands and sit on them, because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to wait. That's what you can do. How long you're going to have to wait, we don't know. We don't know. It's very, very frustrating, but that's what you have to do. The other strategy is you can file a lawsuit to challenge the delay. You can go to court, you can sue them and demand that they give you a final decision on your visa. And that's what my team and I do. We file lawsuits against consulates, embassies, the State Department, the National Visa Center, USCIS, and so on. We sue. How much for a consultation? We offer free case evaluations with our team. You can book them in the link in bio. Just answer a few questions and you can book that. You can either wait it out or file a mandamus lawsuit. And for those who are choosing to wait it out, I should say that there is going to come a time when you will not want to wait anymore. You're going to wake up and you're going to say, I don't want to wait. I am done with waiting. Waiting leads to more waiting, and I can't take it anymore. I'm not going to wait. I want action on this. That's what you're going to do. And that's when you get to the point where you're no longer interested in waiting, that's when you're going to want to contact us. There's one more thing I want to talk about with 221G, and that is the DS5535. That's a separate video. What is that? Basically, this is a little gift that Donald Trump left us, and it's a way for immigration to do what's called extreme vetting. They send you this form, and they ask for all this information, your social media handles, your travel history, your family, etc. And the thing is, they don't ask for this earlier in the process. So then they have to review it or whatever they're going to do. And they never review it. and it just adds to the delay. The people that get DS 5535 tend to be from majority Muslim countries. So there's an element of discrimination going on, Islamophobia. So, with that background, I'm going to answer any question that you have, or at least try to answer. Um, so let's see. We have Mujo US waiting for an interview call from the Islamabad, Pakistan since 2 years. What can we do? Okay, so if you're waiting for an interview in Islamabad or any other consulate, here's what you need to know. Once you send all the documents to the National Visa Center and the National Visa Center reviews everything, they're going to send you an email and they're going to say, your case is documentarily qualified. Can you say that 3 times? Documentarily qualified, documentarily qualified, documentarily qualified. Once you get to the point that your case is documentarily qualified, then I would say if you don't have your interview within 18 months of that date, then it's time to take action. Then you can contact us and we can help you out. I'm getting such good question. Dad's young rich boss. I like that. We have a question from Instagram. What do you think of the embassy of Abu Dhabi? Is it good? I don't have anything that's either good or bad. But it just depends on what the results are. Here's a question from Elias on YouTube. What does it mean? It says here, what does it mean if the application is approved and the consular officer has approved your application subject to final processing by the consular section that is necessary to issue a visa? When that processing is complete, the status will change to issued. However, a final screen tap step. So Elias, all it means, what you've shared with me, means that your case is pending. Here's Dave. Do you think that if Trump wins, removing conditions or receiving citizenship will be impossible? First of all, I think Trump will probably win. And what's going to happen to the immigration system is unclear. Maybe he just shuts it all down. It's possible. And you could say to yourself, well, how could he do that? How could he just shut down the immigration system? Well, that's kind of what he did last time. He did all sorts of things. Here's a question from Marie Goey Forever. Okay, Josh. Your team said it's going to take 4 months if they file a lawsuit in April. Why is it that long? Okay, that's a good question. So we file lawsuits to challenge delays. And people ask us, how long is it going to take to get a result once you file the lawsuit? And the truth is, we don't really know because the decisions are not in our hands and every case is different. So when we tell you how long it's going to take, these are just guesstimates. Our guesses, our estimates for how long something's going to take. Most of the cases are resolved in about 3 or 4 months. We have cases that have gotten approved in less than 2 months, but I would say 4 months is a rough estimate. Does that make sense? All right. Let's see here. Answer my question, please, someone said. Can I file for a green card? Yes, maybe you can. I overstayed my tourist visa by more than 7 months. I married my U.S. citizen wife in Dubai. Well, if you overstayed your tourist visa, then you might be eligible to get a green card in the U.S. If you're in the U.S. But your situation, Dino, is one where you should probably lawyer up. How much do lawsuits cost? My I-45 is stuck at a review for a year and a half after the interview. Marriage to U.S. citizen. Chi-Town Gal. I like your name, Chi-Town Gal. So first of all, the costs vary from case to case. If you're interested in our services, book a free case evaluation with our team using the link in my bio. But to answer your question, Chi-Town Girl, your I-45 is stuck for a year and a half after your interview. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, then I have questions for you. If you did not get approved at your marriage green card interview and they made you wait for a year and a half, it could be because they have questions about whether your relationship is genuine. And so I wonder whether you're living together with your U.S. citizen spouse, whether the two of you share your lives together. So I have all these questions. Stress-free. I'm in Georgia. Do you guys cover here? Yes, we do. We take on cases in all 50 states and around the world. Here's a good question. I like this one. This is from Pisces Princess. I submitted my I-693, that's the medical exam, 2 months ago to a field office in person. How long is the wait for a decision? It should not be that long. I would say a couple months ago, a couple months, anytime you should be able to get it. Here's Kimberly Garcia. Kimberly, are you listening? Because I'm about to answer your question. If you are, put it in the comments below and let me know. It says here, after being in administrative processing, they ask you to provide a new medical exam and a passport. What does this mean? I think, Kimberly, it means you're going to get your visa. So why else would they ask you for that? They're not going to deny you if they ask you to do a new medical and a new visa. Of course, you can never celebrate until it's in your hand, but I think, oh, thank you for following. That's very kind of you. But let me be the first to, like, I'm giving you a bottle of champagne. The cork is in there. Don't take it out. Don't celebrate yet. But I think you're going to get your visa soon. And if you do get your visa, I hope you come back and tell me in one of the chats so I can congratulate you finally. How long is USCIS taking to approve an I-601 waiver? I would say a couple years. It's going to take a really long time. It shouldn't be that way, but it's going to take a really long time. Itcha2 Grace. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Ask a great question. How long does administrative processing take to complete? And the answer to that question is like saying, how long is a piece of string? It depends, right? Sometimes these cases take a really long time to complete administrative processing. Sometimes it takes, we've had people who've waited 8 or 9 years, and most people, maybe they get their decisions within 60 days. The question isn't how long it takes. It's what do you do if it drags on? And that's, I think, where you have to decide whether you want to continue to wait or you want to reach out to us and have us help you. Is USA a good opportunity for nurses? Please, your advice. So I'm an expert on certain immigration issues. If you ask me about the job market for nurses, I don't know, but I would think it is. Hakeem Zayech, good evening from Morocco. Salam alaikum. I'm Agaji Rashid, excavator. I want to go live and work in the United States of America. Well, come help us make America great. Sardar Hamad. Hi, Joshua. Hello, my friend. We have a question in Spanish from someone in Ecuador. Alberto Calleja, podemos ayudarle. I've read your question and I think we can help. Here's Save. After I win asylum, can I apply for my country's passport? No, you cannot. Don't do that. There is a travel document you can get from from the United States that serves as a permission to travel, but don't apply for a travel document. Don't apply for a passport in the U.S. Ismail Alisa, can you explain the process and outputs of writ of mandamus? I'm not sure what outputs mean. Basically, someone hires us, we send them a questionnaire, and the questionnaire is how we collect all the information and documents from the case. Based on the questionnaire, we prepare a draft of the lawsuit for the client to review. We file the lawsuit, usually within 2 or 3 weeks of when we're hired. And after that, the government has 60 days to respond. Usually at the end of the 60 days, they ask for an extension of time. Some clients are approved within that 60-day period, some are not. Um, and if you're not approved within the 60-day period, you're going to get an extension. And it's usually in month 3 or 4 where we see some results. And what a victory looks like is they either issue the visa or they ask you to do a new medical exam and submit your passport. So hope if you have specific questions about mandamus lawsuit, let me know. I'll try to answer them. Um, Today, I'm going to be making more videos. If there's a specific topic that you want me to dive into and really make a full video on, I could make a YouTube video or a TikTok type video or a reel or whatever you call it. Just put it in the question below, and I'll flag it. Daniel Mahadio says, I have a green card for 8 years. Most of the time I've been living outside the US. You're not allowed to do that, by the way. Do you think I will get it back when it expires? No. You have to come back to the US and live here if you want to keep your green card, but you may have already lost. Shahid Zamir Khan, a squash legend, has joined us. He destroyed Peter Nickel 3-0, and he's joined us. He's a great squash player, a great squash coach, but an even better human being. So, salam alaikum. My YouTube channel is called Immigration Station, and I hope you go there. I have longer videos where I dive in more depth about all these issues. AJ on TikTok, is it normal if the immigration court keeps pushing my hearing date for the past 3 years? Is that okay? It's not okay. It's not fair to drag you along. But is it normal? I wouldn't use the word normal, but it does happen. It does take a very long time to handle immigration court. I don't handle cases in immigration court, but I used to. And from what I can recall, it really took a long time. We have Baha Abad. I had administrative processing before, and it took me 4 months to get my visa renewed. Now I'm due for renewal. Is there a risk to go through it again? What do you think? Put it in the comments below and tell me what you think about that question. Let me know. In my opinion, I think if you got stuck in administrative processing last time, I think you're probably going to get stuck there again. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's a good, but I think that's kind of what I expect, unfortunately. Um, how long here, Marie Goe Forever? How long should you wait before filing a lawsuit for a student renewing a visa? I would want. I think that we wouldn't file your lawsuit until you have been waiting in administrative processing for 4 or 5 months. That's my rough guess. It's not like we want anyone to wait at all, but it's tough. Let's see. We have a question here. If my son worked in political fundraising, will that affect getting his residency? I would kind of need to know more information about that. I don't know why political fundraising would impact it unless the fundraising was for some sort of organization that is not has a bad connection with the U.S. I don't know. Esniat Love, how long does it take from Afghanistan to interview? Um, yeah, I think it's going to take a long time. You have to go through Pakistan or another consulate. Shah Faisal, my attorney passed away. What can I do now? I'm very, very sorry to hear that. Why don't you consult with us? I don't know what you need help with, but I'd be happy to try to help you. And it's a horrible thing if your lawyer passes away. Tariq Ayi, I had a marriage fraud 20 years ago, and now I'm married again to a U.S. citizen. I have 2 kids. Can I apply for a waiver in the U.S. or I have to leave the country? Um, so there is a rule. I don't know the details of your case. I'm just speaking in general. But there's a rule that if you commit marriage fraud, you can never get a visa again to go to the U.S. I just got a rose on TikTok. Thank you. Here's someone. Listen to this. Thank you very much for your help. After 8 years, my case was finally approved. That's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. How does it feel to get your case approved after 8 years? Like, I'd love to hear more about that. Hader Ali, please reply. I got DS 5535 from Islamabad IR1. What triggers this form? I don't know. I lived in China for 4 years. All my documents returned to me except China police certificate. I don't know what triggers DS 5535. I think they give that to people who are from majority Muslim countries. We have Barbak MJ. Josh, I support you from Somalia. Mahad Sanid, brother. Mahad Sanid. It says here, Bauhamek Tawari. I responded to an RFE for a medical for an I-45. It received. How long is it going to take? I-130, I-131 approved. I don't think it's going to take long at all. I think you got it. What are the chances for students if he applies for asylum? What are the chances of getting asylum if you're a student? Well, there's no way to know what your chances of getting asylum are if I don't know the details of your case, right? I mean, the one question I always ask people who are, first of all, our office doesn't handle asylum cases. We help people whose asylum applications are delayed, but we don't prepare new applications for asylum. But let me ask you this question. This is the one thing I would ask anyone seeking asylum. Have you been in the US for less than 1 year? Because there's a rule that you have to apply within 1 year of when you arrive in the US. And if you don't do that, there are some exceptions to that rule, but it's kind of a barrier to entry, you know? How long does a marriage visa take, please? It takes too long. It takes longer than it should. It takes longer than you expect. But to answer your question, I think if you have someone who's in the US and who's a US citizen petitioning for their spouse who's outside the US, I think it's going to take a year and a half, probably, depending on things. Itachu Grace, my administrative processing is taking too long, longer than expected. What is your advice? I was asked not to take any action until I hear from the embassy. Okay, Itachu. When was how long ago was your interview? That would be one of my questions. The royal family has joined us. Harry and William, Kate. How's Kate doing? I can't find your question. I wish I could. Here's Shah Faisal, waiting since 3 years, no first interview for asylum seekers. You should file a lawsuit, a mandamus lawsuit. We can help you with this. Sue to get your interview. How long does the N400 take? I'd say a year. Should be like a year. How long does it take an answer after getting an RFE for a 601? The I-601 waiver takes forever. I don't know how long it would take. Kimberly Garcia, please give me some hope. It would only be a few more days. I don't know how long yours will take, but if they ask for the medical and the passport, I think you got this, Kimberly. I think you got it. Here's a question on Instagram. My mom's sister applied for my mom because my aunt is pregnant, but the embassy rejected her visa. So can I apply for that? And also my grandfather also sponsored us. What should we do? I'm not sure, but I'm sorry you were rejected. I'd like to know why they rejected her visa, right? Because before you file a new case, we have to understand why the other case was unsuccessful. But to give you some general advice, you can file multiple applications. There's no reason you can't, right? What other questions do you have? Okay, somebody wants my email. It's joshua@jgoldlaw.com. I'm going to put it in here. Joshua@jgoldlaw.com. It's also in my bio. So can I petition for my husband? I'm a U.S. citizen, but he's been deported twice. I don't know. It seems I'm skeptical about that. I am skeptical. We have over 100 people, almost 100 people on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Alberto, nuestro equipo habla muy bien el español también. Hope that helps. Nunca hablo en español en las redes sociales. Sin embargo, puedo hablar un poquito. Let's see. Here's Hasib Nouri. 221G refused, still waiting since 2022. I don't know what I should do. Hasib, I want you to contact us, please. If you're listening, please contact us. I think we can help you. This is my email right here. Contact us. We can help you with this. All right. I'm going to try to get more than 100 views. Where am I located? So we help people in all 50 states and around the world from our offices in Los Angeles and Boston. So we have offices on both coasts and we take on cases everywhere. How much do we charge for citizenship? Well, it depends on the case. We need to know more about it. But if you contact us using this email here, then we can help you out. Tariq Ayiri. What's your advice to get a waiver for fraud marriage since I'm married again and my wife's American citizen? We have 2 kids. I'd need to know the details of your situation. There is no waiver for marriage fraud. But again, your case requires careful lawyer review and specific legal advice in a one-on-one scenario, not just in this chat, because someone would need to go through your case very carefully. Let me know. Let me know. Magafe, I have got my EAD approval in 2 months ago, and they don't send me the card yet. Um, Here's a Facebook user. My wife's visa was refused on March 5th, 2023 due to insufficient income. But I provided my latest tax return and the consulate did not look at it. Instead, they asked for a joint sponsor. This was added as well on the NVC site. Please let me know what I should do from here. Well, I think you should consider filing a mandamus lawsuit. Your wife's been waiting for over a year on administrative processing. That's kind of crazy. Um, Lay says if you have an N400 interview soon and the husband's asking divorce, what's the best option? Um, have you had a green card for 5 years before you applied for naturalization, or was it a 3-year naturalization case? That would be my question for you, Lay. Let me know. 3-year naturalization. Okay, Lay, if your husband's going to divorce you, I don't know whether you would be eligible. You might want to withdraw the application for naturalization, wait another year or two, and then after you've hit the 5-year mark, reapply for naturalization, because 3-year naturalization is based on marriage. And if you're going through a divorce, you may not be eligible for naturalization anymore. Let me know.